Game number 3 on the way between MVP Black and Roll20 now. 1-1 situation is occurring at the moment. We don't know what we're going to yet, but we're certainly interested to find out here, boys. I'm hoping for a Tomb of the Spider Queen to see if by chance MVP Black would let it go through again, and if by chance it would work out.
I bet it would.
Yeah, you think so?
Not only is it one of MVP Black's best maps, we have now broken past the what are the biggest strengths of Roll20. We're past them. We're past BOE, and we've made it past Infernal Shrines, and we've also dealt with Diablo Medivh.
Yes.
The only things remaining are the unique one-off Zeratul Glorong hero, right? It's those ones. And those we know, historically, even North America can kind of deal with when those are the only factors to concern about. So MVP, after that last game, has a huge lead in the series.
The other thing about when we talk about whether it's going to be Battleground or first pick control to try and play around that is because Roll20 lost that game, they get the choice. So that's the part I'm curious about. Do they feel more comfortable in controlling the draft, or do they feel less comfortable? Because their first ban was Cursed Hollow, which means that they did not want to play there.
Towers of Doom is going to be our map here, Tetra.
It is going to be our map. It was chosen by MVP Black. Roll20 opting for the first pick. We saw Dahaka, how effective he was in the last game. Again, another map he has huge potential on just due to how well the global is. But this, in the past, has been a map that MVP have absolutely destroyed people on just due to superior rotations.
Yeah, they are very successful on this map. And I also want to note, looking towards, what we've seen kind of evolve from the draft of MVP Black, I still expect a Medivh ban coming out from them. Just because there are still certain variations outside of the, the one-off Infernal Shrines, Medivh Diablo, that I think they should still be concerned about on the side of Roll20. I just feel like MVP Black has now said that they are that much better of a team. The only thing they should be fearing is still going to be those Medivh combos.
Let's get into game number 3 here for the best of 5 to find out who moves on in the lower bracket and who is eliminated. MVP Black goes up against Roll20, 1-1.
I want to throw back to Western Clash when Roll20, known as Team 8 then,
yes,
Mar took a while to calculate, sorry.
Abathur. And everybody's like, wait a minute, why is Justin on Abathur?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple people on that team that can play that, but Justin, former Abathur main, I feel like Abathur is going to see a little bit of a higher priority in this draft. As Roll20 comes out with Dahaka, is it first rotation worthy?
If MVP Black doesn't pick it, I would expect Roll20 to, or if not, they will go a Malfurion Medivh. Roll20 really likes to find kind of an aligning with those heroes. It all comes down to what MVP Black ends up picking in this rotation. I would like to see MVP... I don't know. I want to see them commit to the Abathur, but I've also felt that way for a lot of the top teams here now that we've made it past groups, and most have neglected it.
Yes.
So, apparently, having the one of the most dominant win rates was kind of just fluke. Why are you dancing around?
I'm not dancing around. What are you on about?
Oh, he's in his position. What are you on about?
Done a full lap around our entire dev.
That's actually not true. Nobody has seen this, and thus it did not happen.
I'm pretty sure. There's the Abathur.
Yep, Andy Dubrak.
Okay, so the thing that worries me now, do you guys remember what Abathur was paired with earlier by MVP Black just a few days ago?
Chen.
And then there was a Tracer in that game as well against Fnatic.
That was an interesting.
Do they do it now?
Yeah.
Do they do it now? That is all they're asking. Okay, they don't.
Ooh.
They're willing to let it go through the secondary ban. But the Chen is a problem when you lack CC, but I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not sold. I don't think he's as big of a deal as we made him out to be. I do think Chen into no CC hyper aggression only compositions makes miles of sense. But we have evolved past this blind commitment to all-inning compositions for the most part. Teams are realizing, wow, those are so one-dimensional. This one hero can break that, and now they're getting a little bit more well-rounded. So yes, it is a thing that Roll20 has to be considering. I guess I'm just trying to say the hero itself, I feel like, has gotten way too much value.
We'll see if he doesn't end up being picked or banned, though, as Roll20 hovering over their ban. The Medivh still considered ban-worthy by MVP Black. Don't want to deal with it, as it would still fit into the comp of Roll20. But like you said, with the Chen, there is still a little bit of CC already. We have the Drag, we have the Twilight Dream, the option for Wave of Force, but Disintegrate is super effective against the Cocoon. It might not be worth.
Another thing to think of, too, now that we have a new Barak picked up on one side, as long as Zeratul is not a fear and something to be concerned about, MVP could move into the false stat itself. Just there's no hyper aggression or anything, so a lot of global options to be able to match MVP later in the draft. I expect them to save that for the 5th slot if they do end up committing to it. So right now, what do we want to see from them? Support and...
Can they take an Illidan?
They could. They could take the Illidan if it fits better, but that's why I feel like you flex that, right? It's either the Illidan or the Falstad to match the global on the back half, and that's your 5 slot. So then commit to a support in this rotation, and then figure out what you want to be your clone target. Is it the Zeratul with the Zeratul hat ganks to be able to ensure Falstad's even safer, or is it a different direction, again, like with the Illidan?
I feel the way MVP Black's been going, their fallback options, to me, Tracer's not as high when it comes to the Abathur, in my opinion, especially looking at MVP Black. The Chen and Falstad are 2 heroes that I think, again, Zeratul's a little bit more difficult to run into Abathur just because of the mines. So they do go with that global control, and they feel comfortable knowing that if Zeratul's lurking, then there's going to be mines they're going to be revealing him.
It's 100% Zeratul or Illidan as their last pick, just because the Falstad says, we're going to remove all the scary things. It feels like a bait to me.
Yeah. This is the best place they can absolutely pick this, because they now get to see what the final tank is from Roll20, because if it ends up being an Arthas or something like that, then Illidan might be a bit less preferable than Zeratul, who can set up for a combo with Falstad.
I think, hasn't it been MVP Black that has randomly been banning Arthas coming in? Ooh. Oh,
that's one way to deal with it.
There's Diablo and Zeratul getting locked in, so good old Void Prison Apocalypse could be a thing.
Man, I'm happy. Do you know it?
Tyrael.
Yeah?
Just Tyrael. MVP Black, they lack a bit in damage and they don't have a clone target that well. It's a great response to everything Roll20 spawned, so I'm missing something. There's a really clear pick here, but what is it? If it's not the Tyrael, it's something that's got to be clonable. It has to be able to survive on its own and deal with the pressure of the Zeratul. The Illidan is no longer it with the Diablo. Maybe with like a meta, but it's enough CC that I would be deterred away from it. So who is the hat plus the clone but can survive in through a wombo? Decent suggestion, actually. Really good one. I do like the idea of an Arthas. What else would it be? What is it? What are you shaking your head at?
I can't.
it's the kid's song playing next door. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know about you guys, but when I'm happy and I know it, I do like to clap my hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to wait for this to run out.
No way.
Oh, the bravery.
I think Illidan might be in trouble.
I agree. But I will say that I do think Diablo is one of the easiest to be able to deal with only if you take Hunt. Or Metamorphosis. Like, if you're doing that purely for global match, you are going to struggle, but you have the Falstad, so it's not needed. I want this to be a Metamorphosis.
They have Falstad, they have Abathur, they have the global match. Metamorphosis to keep Illidan alive, Ancestral Healing as well. He's going to be ridiculously hard to kill.
I want to see if we're going to go back. Again, North America was one of the first regions that I saw kind of run into the Charge Blast for Cannoneer at 13 to blow up an Illidan target. You will have, by 13, you will have that burst heal from Abathur Symbiote, so it'll be very difficult. But between Twilight Dream, the lockdown potential, the vulnerability from Dahaka at 13, I kind of wonder if they might try and just wait for that VP, blow up the front line, and then see if you can get rid of that Illidan. It's tough, but it's definitely possible.
Time for predictions.
MVP Black. Because, like I said, the global potential and the team fight potential with the Illidan and all that support behind him, I think they can keep him alive long enough to get the value.
Jay, how?
These drafts are tougher and tougher. I feel like the gap is narrowing, but I've got to go MVP Black.
Game 1, who won the draft, won the game. Game 2, who won the draft, won the game. I think Roll20 did it again, so I'm going to go Roll20.
All right, then. Let's check in with chat as well. Slightly divided opinion up here at the desk, and it's getting a bit more even, to say the least. In fact, even as we continue on. All right, time for game number 3 now. 1-1 here between MVP Black and Roll20. We head over to the commentary team for all the action.
Towers of Doom for game number 3, and we have almost all the globals between the two teams. What do you think? Whose draft did you like better?
I'm happy as well, like you. If you're happy, clap your hands. I do think both drafts are very well rounded. There is an amazing power in Roll20's draft with that wombo combo potential, Void Prison into Twilight Dream and Apocalypse. But MVP Black has double support Illidan, and they are Kyocha on Abathur. We've got Meriday on Rhaegar, and they're going to be empowering that Illidan, which is played by Reset. Tist will provide that crowd control on Anubarak, and Sake as a global split soaker and a panic button Mighty Gust. It is MVP Black.
Their Mighty Gust and their Anubarak's disruption will be needed versus the wombo combo of this team. Prismaticism on the global Dahaka. Buds back on Malfurion. Yoda playing Li Ming once again has been so good this tournament. Glaurung playing Zeratul and Justin playing Diablo. They are Roll20.
There's so many ways that draft could have gone. There's so many ways this game can go, as there is so much power in both of these drafts. Nice flip target. I mean, nice flip always. It's a trick of Diablo to get an easy kill, but Illidan will not be easily entrapped again.
Zeratul and Prismaticism rotating in for a gank, finding Reset, flipped over into the room.
Boom, baby!
One.
The overpower, and that's why we are so excited to see Buds on Malfurion again. It is the overpower into the impeccable route. Normally, Illidan feels like he can get away with just about anything. He don't care to get flipped into a fort, but one overpower into one entangle and he's dead. Yoda with the unerring trust and faith in his team on Li Ming. We can understand why Li Ming was banned out last game. We talk about it time and time again. Roll20 with the 22-0 against MVP Black in group stage. Even as Diablo and Medivh were setting up big plays, Buds on Malfurion was there with the follow-up entangle, and Li Ming time and time again with the full Yoda mirror ball, 5 missiles hitting that target. It was this beautiful working together, and MVP Black, this time, they're gonna let that happen. There may not be a Medivh, but the next best thing on Zeratul is there to set that up later. But this time, basic abilities got the kill, and First Blood has won both games so far.
That's true. That's a great point. First Blood claimed by Roll20, who will claim 2 of the 3 altars, or even all 3 if they get really lucky. The first phase is upon us now as the altars activate.
Double Sapper camp taken by both teams. I mean, 1 by each. Entangle there once again, bit of damage on Reset, but this time not the follow-up from Yoda, as he has been busy taking down the camps.
Yeah, that is a constant that will happen that MVP Black has to understand. The roots from Buds will always be there to follow up from Diablo. Because Justin and Buds, I love this story. They went to middle school together. They have some of the best synergy as a duo together because they have been friends for so long. Glaurung stops Sake from the side. This is quite dangerous for Glaurung. Doesn't get hit by the hammering. Sake starting. Reset there. MVP Black is invading.
Wow.
Want to take it. Reset's going in after Glaurung.
And he does get Glaurung, but he goes down himself. Now, was that a worthy sacrifice? From the looks of it, yes. That was a 2-for-1 takedown by MVP Black, but their health is low. Who is going to reign victorious here and get this final altar? It's 4 apiece, and it does look like the sacrifice was worth it for now for Roll20. They get the altar, and they get the 4 cannon shots.
Roll20 is against an Abathur composition that will only get stronger in the later games. So
Correct.
It's important for them to win 2 of those 3 altars. And they almost didn't get it. They did sacrifice 2 people, but at least Roll20 got the altar. Now they just need to make sure they don't get further behind in experience already, because this is, it's a good start for MVP Black, even though they lost that.
Yeah, exactly. As the Abathur team, you pretty much accept losing 2 out of those 3 altars, or losing out in XP. And so it is pretty much an even-ish result, about as good as you can expect as the Abathur comp, as you do not really have a 5 versus 5 team fight until level 10. Roll20 doing the engage here, stealing the camp from Meriday.
Great invade, making sure that they are putting out their most aggressive showing against that Abathur, but this whole time they're pushing in the bottom lane with a double Sapper camp, but Falstad and Illidan doesn't even have the hunt yet, and already they're being able to put the macro game in MVP Black's favor by getting the first bell tower.
And Prismaticism cannot stay here. He's here to get what XP and dissuasion he can, but that is a 4th down. And let's keep in mind, Black did that with just 2 heroes. Roll20 needed 6 sappers. The push power here is insane for MVP Black, and it's one of their major tools to leverage an advantage here in the early to mid game.
They're just going after bell towers. They don't even care.
Yeah, getting half a fort down already is just incredible at this stage in the game. However, we've got a 3 versus 3 bell tower situation, relatively even XP, and things are heating up here as there's 1 altar apiece. Are the players going to be playing this gentlemanly and take 1 apiece, or will they get greedy?
Roll20 wants to be greedy if they can. Justing throws Tist back over into the roots, reset on the back line. Both Glowering and Buds fairly low in health. Buds will be able to heal them back up over time, but Roll20 have to back off long enough for MVP Black to trade out on the altars.
Okay, so Roll20 did get greedy, they wanted more, but they missed the angling on Diablo to get the shadow charge.
Yeah.
And then Anubarax did not get caught by the root, and so this was a big deal. Reset applied pressure on Buds, and the disengage. Here, with the root, with the big missile arcane orb! Anubarax getting deleted by a spellcaster.
And that is exactly the combo that we were looking forward to. And it gets more intense against MVP Black once Roll20 gets heroic abilities. Then you have Void Prison into Twilight Dream and Apocalypse. You're almost guaranteed to get the first reset of potentially many for Li Ming.
Yep. Well, this is the closest game so far between these two teams as both the... well, actually, game 1 was super close, what am I saying? But the closest early game, as it were. As, yeah, Roll20 reached level 10 earlier. Dahaka with the D-push will take down the top fort in due time. In the meantime, Black is trying to do the same thing here at the south. But Roll20 wants to control this bottom point. This has become a very important point of the map to control. What? Oh, that was close. The Zappers nearly walked into that core, but Meriday stops it right on time.
The big consideration right now for MVP Black is, do you get the hunt for the extra global, or do you get Metamorphosis? This makes me think that the way that Kyoch has been split pushing so far, that we're going to have a hunt game.
Yeah, it's a tough choice, Gilly, because both are equally viable, either the hunt or Metamorphosis. Do you want to empower your team fight, or do you say, we need even more split push? There is a strong argument for either one, and hiding that heroic choice could never have been more relevant. And we do have a bit of a, probably a technical issue, but it seems like it's resolved already, so let's jump right back into the game.
Now it comes down to, can Roll20 execute this composition, this Wombo combo? Glaurung will be always looking for the Void Prison. There it is, catches 2, Apocalypse underneath. Glaurung gets in trouble though. Still, they're able to pull it off. Twilight Dream hits, almost taking out Reset here in the Illidan, but Ancestral Healing connects.
Glaurung gets taken out by Thunder Strikes from the copy of Fastad. Kyocha gets a victim, and Buds is the next. He goes down as well. It's a 2-0, it's a 3 takedown, and 4, and only Dahaka will be escaping the massacre that MVP Black inflicted upon Roll20. Void Prison was good, it got 3 targets, but the hunt on Zeratul pressured him mercilessly. We also have the answer to our question. It is going to be the hunt, and it will be used as a way to chase Zeratul. Whatever safety Zeratul normally feels when he blinks away, that is not going to be applicable, as the hunt, Fastad Fly, heck, even double Fastad Fly with that copy can chase him to the edge of the world.
Yeah, the back line was not able to capitalize as easily on the Void Prison. So it may be a where Glaurung has to get a different location where it's not as difficult for them to funnel in a choke point like that. But then MVP Black, at the same time, should, in theory, be more spread out and make it more difficult for a Void Prison to hit in the first place. But MVP Black with an awesome response to the first instance of that Wombo. Yeah,
I think you said it was too difficult to follow up on. So Roll20 is going to get more options. In the meantime, Hunt gets blocked by a Burrow, a copy. They are hungry for this one. And as no help will be coming to Prismaticism, he will fall down to this. Roll20 instead go for another place. We see a big shadow charge here on the Nubarak with the follow-up, but the damage and the lockdown isn't there. 1 more point to MVP Black.
2 Illidan's in Falstad is way too much for a Dahaka to deal with, and MVP Black are running rampant across the battleground. They are taking bell towers constantly, and it keeps Roll20 from getting out and finding where the members of MVP Black are to set up for their big team fight. They're so reliant on these long cooldown heroics used in conjunction, whereas MVP Black with the Hunt, with Fly, they're everywhere.
Correct. This is, so far, MVP Black have out-globalized Roll20, and they've also won the team fight. But now, can Illidan get picked off in the lane? It does look like it's going to happen. Everything was needed here. Roll20, they get a takedown. Prismaticism goes for the heal, and this comes at a very important time for Roll20. However, they only have one bell tower. Even if they win both of the altars, they will not be able to get a huge advantage out of this. So they want the team fight. Yeah, and they've got the heroics available.
They're hoping they can stop Sake, but the zoning was just enough from MVP Black, and the rotation slow enough, or well, really fast enough for MVP Black that they were able to claim one. And being able to use your opponent's kill on one of your teammates in that way is so impressive of MVP Black and a mark of an incredible team.
Exactly, the best time to die. Now, in the meantime, Tist actually gets out with that burrow charge, but the Void Prison lands on Falstad, but the Ancestral hits! MVP Black is going to be able to turn this with the Hunt on Diablo there.
Diablo down for the full amount of time, but Roll20 still hoping they can make this fight work. Glaurung in the back gets taken out, and Sake somehow survives.
2 takedowns already, and the chase is on. MVP Black looking to get Prismaticism. There is no adaptation. He does get out, but that's another 2 victims here on the side of Roll20, and they've got only 1 bell tower. They are trying to stay alive in this game, but MVP Black is just too good this game.
And seeing Falstad in the mid, Roll20 are panicked trying to take out the bot bell tower because they don't want to give up all of the towers or else they're going to start just giving free shots, but it's 16 from MVP Black. This is just such a beautiful composition from MVP Black and the way they're playing out Towers of Doom.
7 seconds. Every 7 seconds there will be a core shot when you control all the bell towers. We had one such instant, which happens instantly upon capturing the 6th. So that's 1 more core shot for MVP Black. Well done. And very little to gain for Roll20. And what's more, they lack escape avenues. They have to walk through MVP Black's bell towers to ever get away. MVP Black gets level 16, and Roll20 needs to fight a 5 bell tower situation, soon 4. A talent down against a team that has all the lanes pushed. They have all the information in the world. Roll20's greatest challenge stands before them right here. And MVP Black, they can play it out any way they like.
Yeah, MVP has created a mountain for Roll20 to climb in this game. 1 altar claimed. Dahaka trying to get top. Twilight Dream connects. Reset down. That's the first kill that is so desperately needed from Roll20.
Yeah, Illidan lacks the Cleanse, the Ancestral, and the Metamorphosis to get away. So that's a very nice kill for Roll20. But it's just 1 kill. They get closer to 16. This was actually a really big deal. They get the double Bellshot towers. Yeah, that was about as well as Roll20 could do.
Yeah.
Very good job. Nice splitting, 2 top, 3 bottom, get Illidan. And that was actually huge. I can't believe they did it this way.
There was a very real possibility that they got to a point from that phase that was irrecoverable.
Exactly.
But claiming 2 of those, even being down 1 bell tower, but still having 2 of their 3, still gave them the 3 shots each, got 2. The kill on reset was everything to start that for them too.
And he has been an easy target when they find him, but Illidan always tries to make himself scarce. His power is joining the team fight midway. He doesn't want to be the first one in. And so let's see where he goes. Reset, he's in the mid lane, and he goes down. All right, MVP Black wants to fight. They go with the Hunt on Zeratul.
It's still going to go through, pulls him out of Void Prison too. Apocalypse didn't really do too much to the team, and now Roll20 has used so many of those abilities. No Twilight Dream for 10 more seconds, but they force Ancestral Healing.
No one has any heroics left. The only thing that's left is Ultimate Evolution. Everything else is down. Twilight Dream now comes back, so Roll20 would be very okay with a fight. MVP Black cannot disengage because they do not have Mighty Gust. But will Roll20 risk it all and invade this camp? Justin says yes. Prismaticism says no.
They're hoping for a kill once again on reset. Glaurung diving deep to get it. Gets caught by all of MVP Black. The Hunt secures the kill.
The Hunt is back. Auto attack resets gave him his Hunter's Onslaught cooldowns, and Glaurung with the most obvious chase on Illidan, with all the members of MVP Black there to peel for him, got greedy. He zoned in on the Illidan and he got punished for it with a melee point blank, the hunt to the face. And now 4 versus 5.
That was another situation where the clone of Kyocha was great in the backline again, where Glaurung was still hoping that he could get the kill. He got baited from Reset, but Reset has that self-sustainability and the help of Rhaegar, and it was a quick turn. Now the team fighting without Zeratul, a 4v5 Twilight Dream, but Li Ming is out of the fight already.
That was so smart by MVP Black. They do the cocoon. They know that the counter to cocoon is that disintegrate, and they immediately dive on Yoda, on Li Ming. They solved this particular way of countering cocoon. MVP Black with the perfect synergy, get the 4 kills, and at this time they can get another bell tower, they can get the tower shots, and then boss, level 20. Is there anything that Roll20 can do to get back in this game?
So there's going to be 6 once they get this particular bell tower. Ooh, Glaurung. Ooh.
Kyocha is reeling him in. Dun, 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 dun. And he's gone. It was a nice try.
4 more shots.
Comeback XP is worth a lot in this game. You're down a bunch of levels, and you know, you get a lot of XP for that Abathur kill. It gives you a bit of breathing space. But Roll20, they're on the precipice here. 1 HP on the core left. They cannot afford a single other mistake, and they now have to deal with sappers in the bottom lane. They're up against 5 bell towers. I don't see how Roll20 can do this.
One last possible combo.
Void Prison is up, Apocalypse is up. Roll20 has to play this perfectly and hope for a miracle. Glaurung looking for the engage. Void Prison, 1 target. In comes the Apocalypse. Void Prison cancel. Rhaegar gets stunned, but there is no follow-up damage. There's too many bodies blocking. Here's the move on Li Ming. Twilight Dream is huge.
Ancestral Healing is 2. Keep Sake alive. Zeratul is down. That's the first. Cocoon holding one of the members of Roll20 hostage. Prismaticism pops out, but he is so low. Tunneling Claws gets him back to the safety of his base.
In the meantime, Abathur's Locust and Minion Waves are pushing the top forward. Once that one goes down, it's an instant end to the game. What stops MVP Black from applying pressure here, flying top with the Hunt and Falstad, and taking down that tower? However, Roll20 have taken back the bell tower in the middle. They're still alive. They lost 1 member, but they're getting closer and closer to 20 themselves.
Man, this almost feels like a checkmate, right? It's your king is moving 1 space at a time,
yes,
hoping that there will be a way out of this puzzle. Roll20 are doing everything in their power to solve that puzzle, but it's 1 core health to 20 and 2 altars.
Yeah. Roll20 is fighting off 3 queens with a rook and 2 pawns, and they are finding it rather difficult as 2 bell towers are in their possession. Glaurung gets attacked here by Reset. Reset with the kill! And the cleanse comes in. Reset stays alive. They go in on Yoda. But he has the ice block. He pops out of it. Cast the entangle, but MVP Black is not letting up. And in the meantime, the altars are up.
Rhaegar is channeling up. The GGs have been called at MVP Black with a dominant victory on Towers of Doom, showing why it's a battleground to fear from them. But really, just about every battleground is a battleground to fear from MVP Black.
Yeah, we wondered if MVP Black was coming into this match with a much improved form from the group stage. And in that first game, Roll20 rolled high. But the 1-1 happened, which was a bit of a wipeout, and now MVP Black looks like they actually rotated and used their globals how they were meant to be used. It was the cleanest game so far, where both teams had a good showing. MVP Black get the 2-1 in this best of 5.
And you could tell in the early game, yes, the experience bars maybe showed one thing, that it was close, but the amount of siege damage that MVP Black was getting done was very telling of how the late game would go if Roll20 couldn't wrest back control, and they just simply could not. Let's head over to the analyst panel and see what they thought of game number 3.
Thank you very much, Gillyweed. Indeed, we do have that 2-1 going on at the moment. Tetra, it seemed like, unfortunately for Zeratul, having a bit of a hard time in that game, constantly picked off over and over and over. Really good control of him in those fights.
Yeah, they weren't able to protect, the rest of Roll20 weren't able to protect him, and when you're up against something like a Hunt, you're going to have trouble keeping anyone alive. Yeah. And they were just played around the entire game.
It went exactly as I kind of expected, to be honest with you. I mean, that was when you go up against an Abathur's, the Zeratul, and Towers of Doom, you're going to have a difficult time, whether it's the mines, whether it's some type of vision or control that you're going to have over your opponent. And that was a tough game, I think, for Roll20 there.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
A lot of that, I feel like, came down to, though I think both of the drafts were pretty close to equal, Roll20 just couldn't execute. They did not have the confidence like we saw in some of the other games, and I'm going to highlight here in this replay, like, some of the small mistakes they make. So we're going to pause here for a moment, and if we take a minute to appreciate that this game is still winnable at this point. This is the turning point of the match here, and the first thing we have to know is that Illidan is in fact Jed. He's just flat, non-existent on the map. So he's going to spawn. For the Hunt to be able to move outward, it is not absolute global at this point. He needs a little bit of time to move. So MVP Black is essentially baiting this initiation, though they don't have the team fight ability currently. So as we move forward, they're going to move up for a flat invade. And the fact that all the members of Roll20 kind of dance around here, they question if they want to open up to the initiation. They open with the Diablo combo into the Malfurion roots, but what I want to see from them at this point in time is just open with the Apocalypse and the Void Prison combo. So if we pause here, this is the fight that ideally MVP Black wanted. They wanted to bring the Illidan in to get the Hunt to join over, just zoom in across the map and look to be able to get a pick off somewhere. But the APOC comes a little bit late and the Void Prison comes a little bit late. Roll20 doesn't force the fact that this is a 4 versus 5. So now we know the Void is here, the APOC's coming. What is the biggest thing you want to look for? It is the fact that we have Buds as a follow-up. He wants to hit only 2 targets. This, the Rhaegar, the healer, and then their kill target, which is going to be the False Dead. So as we move forward here, it drops the Void, Apocalypse lands, and as Twilight Dream comes out, who do we have hit? This guy right here is not. Ancestral Healing, 1 auto attack away from getting the kill on Kyocha, and he is going to get this, survive, play it out, and then once that's done, there's no chance Roll20 wins this fight. That was a very winnable team fight. There were many at this point and earlier that were winnable, but flat out execution not there for Roll20.
I'll admit as well, it was an amazing Ancestral Heal.
Yeah.
He was like 1 health towards the very end there. So very well played by MVP Black. It really feels like from game to game to game, they're getting better and better and better. They're just scouting out their opponent, feeling it out, and Roll20 has got to be very, very scared now.
They really do. They've had most of the heroes that they really want so many times now, and MVP Black have just let them have it and then just wrecked them in 2 games in a row now.
Admittedly, I think Towers of Doom does not fit the playstyle of Roll20. They gave up map pick and chose first pick in the draft. I'd love to see them go to a battleground that they're more comfortable on, that fits their playstyle more, that they can't be countered as hard on. I'd love to see them pick up Tomb. I don't know if that's the route that they'll go, but I would much rather see them take map pick over first pick.
Well, it's tournament life on the line now here for Roll20, as I would love to see this go all 5 games. Now I'm just a little bit skeptical as to whether it's gonna, because the last 2 games we've seen from MVP Black Dread have been very strong.
Yeah, I don't see, it's no way for Roll20 here. I feel like that was the final blow kind of for this series. I already said about how we've gotten past the power picks and the comforts of Roll20, and then when we see them with still their play style, the execution, again, was just pretty sloppy across the board for Roll20. So to not be able to punish MVP Black for their mistakes, it's going to be a tall tale if they have game 4.
So we're going to be on Sky Temple, and as much as, Roll20 for me needs to bring out something magical now to go up against MVP Black, because on the other side of it, positively here for MVP Black, they're in a position where they're gaining traction, they're gaining momentum again in this tournament, in that lower bracket where they lost some in the upper bracket. So it's very, very important that they continue on that trend.
Yeah, it's nice